third. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You're listening to the Morning Mayhem Radio Show on Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio. The Morning Mayhem Radio Show. That's what I call my show nowadays, Taylor.
Yeah?
You should talk into the microphone.
I think that's funny.
There we go.
Seems like your life is pretty mayhemy.
Mayhemy? Okay, that's a new one. I haven't heard mayhemy before.
Well, I just kind of made it up.
That's true. Taylor Lamborn in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I got to go get my applause buttons here. Hold on one sec. I got to find them.
I can just clap for myself.
Feel free.
Yay, me.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
So it's been a little while since you've been on my show, at least. It's, well...
A couple years since I've been on your show.
It's been a couple of years at least.
Yeah, but I was with Jeremiah. What was it, in the spring, maybe?
Yeah, I think you had Jeremiah. You had the hour in front of me, which would have been him in the spring.
Yeah.
But you get me now.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to let you be the judge of that.
I think it's good. You brought me a hamburger.
I did bring you a hamburger, but you didn't eat the hamburger.
Well, I didn't prepare for eating a hamburger. I don't know. I had to get myself really psyched to have one. So
I didn't tell you I was bringing you food.
That was very sweet of you.
But that's okay. So we ask you just a couple of questions, and we'll play some music. Ask you a couple more, play some more songs, and go from there. I don't think I could ask you how you picked your band name because I don't think you have a band name. So
yeah, well, I don't have a band right now.
Yeah. So, what inspired you to get into music in the first place?
I hated my job.
That is very blunt. Okay. Do you want to specify on that?
Yeah, no, actually, okay. So I had wanted to be in a band so stinking badly since I was like 5 years old. I was just like, I want to be in a band. I want to be in a band. But I didn't have really any friends all through high school that were pumped about that. It was just kind of like a thing that I always wanted to do. And I didn't know any musicians. And then I went to college and I joined an a cappella group, but I still didn't really find my people until after I graduated from college. And I was living in Worcester, and I had what on paper seemed like a really good job, but in terms of like actual life, very draining job that I hated. And I spent a lot of time at the music store in Worcester. Larry's, what up? And I met a bunch of guys, and we started a band. And it was like my saving grace. It helped me kind of enjoy life when I hated my job. And that's why I started playing music.
Well, I, for one, am glad that you hated your job and decided to start playing music. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 sec. I got to make sure I have everything muted here. There we go. Because we're checking our chat room at lakeeffectradio.org/studio to make sure that nobody's chatting in to ask you questions as we go along. So for those of you who are interested, that is out there for you to ask. Or if you want to put a piece of paper on the window, feel free to do that as well.
Is it delayed a little bit?
It is delayed a slight bit, but it's not too bad.
I don't see my head moving the way that it's...
Well, your head is also out of the shot.
Well, I'm trying to move it into the shot.
Well, you got to move that way if you want to get the shot, because the camera's over here.
Oh, I thought that was the camera.
No, that's our backup camera for Skype interviews and stuff. There you go. Once you move, you'll be into the shot here. But at any rate.
Okay.
This is a two-part compound question here.
Hello, camera. Okay, sorry. All right, okay.
What was your most favorite show you've ever played at? And on the opposite end of the spectrum, what was your least favorite show you ever played at?
I think my favorite show ever, pretty much hands down, was the CD release for our group EP.
Nice.
That was a very cool experience for me. The guys that I was playing with were my absolute best friends, and we put so much work into it. We had just the most support, and it was a very awesome night. My least favorite show, gosh, when you're a touring musician, you get a lot of stinkers out there.
Yes.
Like, there are times... Oh, you know what? I have a least favorite show. Okay. So, this is funny to me. On one of my first tours, I went out and I tried so hard to find a gig in the Bay Area because I was staying with some really awesome friends out there for a couple days. And when you book your own tours, like sometimes you really just got to be like, I'm ready to compromise right now. And I found a show in Sacramento. And so it was over an hour drive from where I was staying to get there. I had to go through like a bunch of tolls, and fortunately I had like one of my absolute best friends with me, so like that made up for it. But I got to this show in Sacramento, and I was supposed to get like paid a cut of the door, which ended up being like $5 because I didn't know anybody there in Sacramento. And there was like this really like bad band that I was playing with, and they were mean to me and accused me of stealing their microphone. And then when I got out of the gig, I had a $50 parking ticket on my car. So I ended up losing $45, and the venue was mean to me, and we drove back to the Bay Area. And I was like, I've never lost so much money to play music. And that was my least favorite show.
Jeez, I couldn't imagine just playing at a place and losing money like that.
Oh, it happens a lot that you like end up like, I don't know, spend more on your bar tab than you get paid. You know, and sometimes that spending more on your bar tab than you get paid is only like $10, but like it does happen. But I mean, I've managed 7 years into my career to be a little bit smarter with how I manage things.
Yeah.
But that was a stinky night.
So where do you expect to see yourself like a year from now? Back at the studio?
Gosh, you are asking me a question of the century because I'm one of those people where I don't know where I'm going to be next week. So I don't know.
Okay.
I could, depending on how I feel tomorrow, I could like just up and leave and be in, I don't know, Tallahassee.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know anything about Tallahassee, but I could be there.
Is that your favorite kind of trip where you just out of nowhere decide just up and go somewhere?
That's how I ended up in Costa Rica for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've made some lifelong friends through that trip, and I'm planning on going back actually for the third time, hopefully this year. So
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So why don't we have you play something instead of me just talking your leg off for an hour straight?
Yeah. Can I play you? I'll just play one of my favorite songs from growing up.
Sure. Hold on 1 sec.
So I've been trying to write a lot of new music recently, but I'm trying to learn old songs too, because I find like that inspires me, and it's a good thing to do when you have writer's block. So this is one I learned a while ago. It's called Seasons Change, and I play it my own way. And it's by Corinne Bailey Rae. Maybe you've been pouring everything into this. Your state of bliss turns to tragedy, because you can't predict it. When it comes to it, can't hide from it. But don't you surrender anything. Patience is a virtue, yes it is. Life is a waiting game, and peace must be nurtured. All the money in the world buys you nothing. Everything happens, oh it does, for a reason. Don't you go and throw it all away when the seasons change. 'Cause it Hurts me to see you feel this way. Oh, it won't be always. Don't you know everything has gotta change? You feel like all your hope is gone, can't carry on, but now you don't have to pretend with me. Oh, 'cause patience is a virtue, and life is a waiting game, and peace must be nurtured, and all the money in the world buys you nothing. Now everything happens, so it does, for a reason. Don't you go and throw it all away. When the seasons change, whoa, oh, 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 yeah. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 yeah, yeah. I'm just saying. Oh, 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 ooh, oh, seasons change. Yeah.
Seasons change all the time.
They do.
They really do. Fortunately, we have a season change coming. We have snow projected for tomorrow night.
Shut the front door.
No.
Get out of here. I am leaving.
Bye, I guess. Unfortunately, yeah, we have snow coming tomorrow night.
Can I tell you how sad I am about seasons changing?
Of course.
Specifically related to this region of the world. Okay. I live, as you know, near Lakewood, which is about 40 minutes away, depending on how, like, fancy fast you drive. And I have wanted to go do the canopy walk at the Holden Arboretum for 3 freaking years. And I want to do it when the leaves are changing because I feel like it would be so much fun. And I went on the website last weekend and I was like, cool, I figured out what the hours were. And I'm like, I'm finally going to do it. And yesterday, because it was sunny, I was like, I'm going to drive out and do it today. I went to the Holden Arboretum. I pulled up after my 45-minute drive to a sign that says, Canopy Walk closed.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, and I went in. The admission is $12. I still went in because you got to support people trying to do nice things for the environment. And I walked around and I tried to see what was up, and I couldn't do the canopy walk. I saw all the pretty trees, but I was really bummed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That
that's my story.
That stinks.
But I do love watching the leaves change. It's one of my favorite, like, moments of the year, and it makes me sad because it's like such a short, brief thing.
Right.
It's cool.
So, what are you working on right now as far as music is concerned? You said you were trying to write your own stuff lately. Is that what I heard you say earlier?
Yeah, I mean, so I started out in this crazy little music world as a like kind of a folk singer.
Okay.
With very like pop kind of lyrics, you know, a lot of love songs and everything else. And I think I've evolved a lot as an artist over the years, doing the circuit of the blues jam nights and working with a lot of other artists in the Northeast Ohio area. I feel like I've been inspired in so many ways, and working with my students over at the School of Rock, like I think I've grown a lot, and it got to a point where I wasn't satisfied with anything I was writing because, like, I know that there's, like, so much better music out there. And I guess that's kind of silly because I am still very proud of every record I've produced. And especially of the last two I did. My Take Me record and the group EP, I think I reached kind of new heights. But with both of those, I collaborated with a lot of other musicians, and now I want to be able to bring that same like caliber of musicality to the music, and still have like more thought-provoking lyrics than just like, I don't love you anymore, you're annoying and a boy. Like, that's just not a thing that I want to do anymore. So
That was out of nowhere, but okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
My
it's
life,
okay.
I sing stupid things all the time in my life. Anyway, so I want to write like good music, and that's kind of basically my whole life. That's what I want to do. And I do, but I'm trying to kind of put together a new album of acoustic,
Nice.
nice music.
So, how important is image to you? And I guess the question is
Hardly.
hardly. Okay. Hey,
No, you know what? That's one of those things that I haven't quite figured out. I think a lot of, especially in like our YouTube generation where like everybody sees an Instagram and everything else, like having a distinctive like visual brand is important for most artists. But I was raised by like a mom who didn't care what she looked like ever. She was like very sporty and an athlete, and I've never seen makeup on her face in my whole entire life. And that kind of rubbed off on me. And so I always almost struggle when I feel like I have to like dress up for something because it's not how my brain works. And so I don't know. So maybe I care about it a lot, but it frustrates me, so I put no effort towards it.
gotcha. So, are you one of those people who likes to plan things meticulously as time goes on, or are you one of those people who wants to just act on impulse?
I'm a very weird mix of both of those things.
Okay.
Yeah. I like things to be perfect, and that's one of the reasons I have like 4 music videos I've never released.
Really? Okay.
And I don't know what to do with them because like I'm such a perfectionist. But then there are other times where I'm just like, screw everything. I'm just gonna like do what I want right now. And that happens a lot. Like I really love live gigs because I can just like feed off the energy of my audience. And if for some reason I feel like playing a song I haven't played in 4 years, I'll give it a shot, you know?
Cool.
And I like those connections and everything else. So yeah, a mix of both.
So, who do you say you sound most like?
Taylor Lamborn.
Well done. I'll take that answer as you are your own sound.
I am.
And
Yeah.
you don't want to compare yourself to somebody else, or
I don't want to. I mean,
Okay.
people compare me to who they want to compare me to. I have influences from across the board, female and male artists, and I think if somebody's just genuine to who they are, then I admire you. So, I mean, there's sometimes that people will compare me to artists that I personally don't like, but if they like them and stuff and they see a little bit of them in me, I have to celebrate that rather than like bemoan it. So
sure.
here I am. Tell me who you think I sound like, and I'll probably disagree, but I'll smile while doing it. And I guess
What was the first tune you ever learned?
first song I ever learned.
Yeah.
Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton.
Okay.
I don't play it anymore. I don't think I could even try and play it. I was like 13 when I used to play that song.
Okay. And to go along with that, what was the first instrument you ever played? Was it guitar? Or the Don't count the recorder. If you're going to count the recorder, let's not count that.
Okay, so I guess, voice is an instrument.
Sure.
I was in choirs and sang for a very long time. The first instrument I attempted to play was a piano. My grandmother had an out-of-tune one in her basement, and while she and my parents and brother played bridge at every holiday gathering, I would go downstairs and literally just like play on that piano nonsense for hours on end. But I never had lessons, and I think that's kind of what started like my creativity musically, because I knew nothing about theory, but I was trying to play harmonious things and make things sound good. So that's, I guess, where I've developed like patterns within music. And then I started taking guitar lessons for when I was a freshman in high school. And I was so insecure when I went into my first lesson. He asked me who my favorite guitarists were, and I just literally tried to think of any famous guitarists. And so I said Santana and Jimi Hendrix, even though I didn't really know much about either of them, except that Santana played Smooth with Rob Thomas on the radio. And then he taught me a bunch of Christmas songs, and I didn't like it, so I quit guitar lessons. And it was only after I quit guitar lessons that I started to really learn the guitar, because I explored it on my own.
Nice.
And that's the long-winded story of Taylor Lamborn exploring musical instruments.
So how long did it take you to fully learn the guitar, just out of pure curiosity?
I'm not fully learned on the guitar. Nobody
Let
is.
me rephrase the question.
There's a Dizzy Gillespie quote saying that, like, something about, like, you can never master your instrument, and if you think that you have, then you stink, and you have chosen to stop learning, and you should die. That's not what the actual quote is.
Well, okay, so I guess the question I was trying to ask is something more like how long would you say it took you to get to the point on the guitar where you could stand in front of an audience and play for a gig or something like that?
You know what? I don't want to discourage a single person out there that's choosing to listen to this, because I thought that I was good enough to play in front of an audience like 3 months into playing the guitar. And if it wasn't for me just getting out there and just attempting to do something, I remember I played at like a Christmas bazaar when I was a sophomore in high school, then I wouldn't have continued improving. So I was good enough as soon as I was confident enough. And even if I didn't sound good to somebody else, I was taking steps toward being the musician I am today. So if anybody's out there and wants to go play music at an open mic night, do it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to hear you play again. If you don't.
Gosh, golly, gee willikers. Okay.
I know. I put you on the spot. That's my job.
Okay. I guess I'll do something by myself. Do you care if it's a song that I've played on here before?
No,
or?
definitely
Okay.
not.
All right, cool.
Do you know how long it's been since you've been on my show?
156 years.
It could be something that you played for like Jeremiah that I haven't heard yet. So, by all means.
Oh. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so this is a blues song. Do you know anything about the blues?
Not really.
Do you want a blues lesson?
Oh, sure.
All right. Most blues, do you know what a measure is?
Yes.
Or a bar?
Yes. Measure, yes.
Do you know what, like, so, all right, so if you're counting in music, you have like 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
it's
whatever.
like 4/4 time.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so 12-bar blues. People like think that the blues are so complicated, but it's all a formula, and every blues song has the same chord progression. So if you want to learn how to play music, if you learn how to play the blues, everything is derived from that. All rock and roll, they use the same like relationship between chords. It's called like the 1-4-5 thing.
Okay.
But the 12-bar blues is a very specific pattern, and people will play off of it. And from there, you can learn to improv, and you'll be the best musician ever, in my personal opinion, if you learn how to play the blues. Anyway, this is a blues song. Gave her money, she took her time. Everyone knows, but they pay no mind when you get down to it, baby. We all work the street. Where you get down to it, know that we all work the street. Oh, her heels, they're high, her legs, they're long. She's a cheat. I'm easy if you play a song. Oh, baby boy, you know just what she needs. Where you get down to it now, we all work the street. So, Mr. Officer, why drag me away? I've got mouths to feed and I've got bills to pay. And now you know just what I mean. Where you get down to it, know that we all work the street. Oh, you get down to it now. Oh, you get down to it now. Where you get down to it, know that we all work the street. Where you get down to it now, we all work the street. Oh, officer, why drag me away? I've got mouths to feed and I've got bills to pay. No, you know just what I mean. Where you get down to it now, we all work. Get down to it, know that we all work. Get down to it, know that we all work the street. I really didn't talk much before I came here. I'm feeling my voice warm up as I'm singing.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You know, it makes me more raspy and like, yeah, I'm going to pretend it's a good thing.
You need water?
No, I don't.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll get you a water bottle if you need one.
You're so sweet. No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm good.
So I meant to ask this at the start of the show, but actually it's better to segue in now. Do you have any gigs coming up that you want to talk about?
I do. I've got gigaroonies all the time. Here, let me pull up my little cellular device. For those of you who live near Cleveland, I am playing at Negative Space with my dear friends from By Light We Loom, Ray Flanagan, and another band I don't know the name of, but I'm looking it up this very second. And that is on November 16th. Super duper pumped about that.
Cool.
And then let's see, what else do I have going on? I am here right now. That's a thing.
Obviously.
that I'm doing. I also, tomorrow night down in Norton, What's Up Norton, that's near Akron/Canton, for those of you that live in that area. I'll be playing at the Wolf Creek Tavern. I do that every second Friday, and that's pretty cool. So again, tomorrow, which is the 10th?
10. 8. 9.
The 9th. Tomorrow
9.
the 9th. I will be at the Wolf Creek Tavern. Awesome food, speakeasy, historical building. There are ghosts there. Come hang out. November 16th, Negative Space Art Gallery with The Morning Bird. That's the name. Ray Flanagan and By Light We Loom. And I have other stuff too. I'm playing, I always have a couple gigs out at John Christ Winery in Avon Lake. I think that my next one there is in December. I've got some other stuff, like some private gigs. If you guys want to pay me lots of money, I will come to your house. I will serenade you. I will bake you cookies. So, hit me up.
I will bake you cookies. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So do you have an online presence at all, like a Twitter account or a Facebook page or anything like that?
I have a Facebook page. I have a website.
Okay.
TaylorLamborn.com. TaylorLamborn.com. From there, you can get my Facebook page, which is just my name, Taylor Lamborn. My Instagram, which is TayMadLam. My Twitter, which is the same. I'm not very active on Twitter or Instagram, though. That could always change. Honestly, I haven't been very active online at all in the wake of group breaking up. I was not really sure how to, function online. But as I'm starting to kind of re-amp my solo career here, I'm kind of taking control of those things again. And we'll see. In the next couple months, you might get a couple really awesome surprises because, like I said, I have 4 music videos I've never released, and I've got a lot of other stuff too I'm working on.
Would you like to tell us about some of the other stuff you're working on since we're whispering?
It's a secret.
Oh, okay. Guess we don't want to. So, do you deal with any nerves before a performance? Do you get nervous before any performances or anything like that? I know I would if I was you, but do you at all?
You know what? I feel like I've had everything that could happen to me at this point. I used to get scared. And sometimes still, like, if I'm unprepared, I'll be upset with myself. But I don't think, no, I don't get nervous the way that I used to. No.
Are you signed right now by anybody, like a label or anything like that?
I'm not, and I'm not sure that I want to be.
Okay. Well, I gotta ask why.
Well, the music industry has changed so much over the past, like, 20 years. And being signed by a label kind of is restrictive in some ways. And there are artists that have been able to really come out and, like, manage their own careers. And if you're kind of driven in that way, you have more control of things. And when you're with a label and say, I wanted to do some weird, like, progressive art project with, like, contemporary dance and clowns, my label might not want me to do it. But maybe it's something I'm passionate about, and I'd rather have my own, like, autonomy.
Okay. Do you have any new merch coming out by chance?
That's something that I'm currently thinking about.
Oh, sorry.
It's no. Okay, well, I have a question for you.
All right.
As somebody who likes bands,
Sure.
what's the coolest piece of merch you've ever gotten?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't gotten much by way of merch.
Really?
Personally.
Or seen. Have you ever seen something and been like, oh, man, that's sweet?
A couple of shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah, so everybody has shirts. I've got shirts. But, like, you know, and shirts are great because then I have people that are walking billboards.
Right.
So, yes, I will probably come out with a new shirt because I have to come out with a new logo because I haven't refreshed it in many years. But there's more to be had in the world of merch. I feel like I could come up with something fun and fancy.
Bumper stickers, that sort of thing.
I've got stickers.
Are always a hit. I know I said t-shirts already, sweatshirts. Or just having a copy of a CD. Or a couple of CDs or something.
I do have CDs. I have shirts. I have stickers. I give out stickers for free at every gig. I have a lot of, like, my old ones, too. So, like, I'm just like, if somebody wants some, I'll send you a pack of, like, 50, you know. Just hit me up.
Cool.
But I'm trying to think of, like, fancy stuff. Like, I have friends that have done can openers before, or hats, or, like, not bottle openers, you know. Like, they're handy things. Magnets. Yeah, I feel like pens are such, like, a corporate thing.
True.
I would look like I was an insurance salesman. Hi, my name's Taylor. Do you want to check out this real estate?
Hi, my name's Taylor. You can save a bunch of money in your car insurance by switching. Okay, I won't even go there.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel like as a musician, like, how cool would it be if I came out with, like, I mean, I'm not Beats by Dre, but, like, headphones are sweet, you know? So
True.
But I'm not going to sell, like, $150 headphones to people. So that's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes. Would you like to play for us again?
Well, why don't you, do you have my CDs on your thing-a-do?
I'm sure we got something in here. Let me do a little bit of digging real quick. Let's see. I know we've got you in here somewhere. I just got to find you. Your name is not... Are you not in here?
You are rude. I have CDs with me. They're in my little...
I'm rude?
Yeah, you forgot I was coming and you deleted my songs.
Actually, I'm not the one who organized this one. You know what? I don't even need to go there.
You can do that? Hey, why don't you do this?
Sure.
Because go to my Facebook page.
Okay.
If you can play something live.
Yeah, sure. I can play it right through the board here. One sec.
Because
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
This is a song that people can listen to on my Facebook. Make sure it's like not my personal page, but my like band page.
Right.
Okay.
Let me see here.
I took a video. Do you care if I get like quasi-political?
Go ahead.
All right. And I was like, why isn't it coming up? Go to the pages one. Yeah. There me be.
There you are.
All right. There's a video of me in the videos that I recorded. And it was, there we go. That's it. That's the Bon.
All right.
It kind of speaks for itself.
Okay.
I can't bring a piano here, so I couldn't play it for you. My fair-skinned privilege leaves little to prove. I haven't fought for much, but I cry when I watch the news. I've got so much to learn. See, all this history I was taught from books that don't tell both sides. Gotta take a second look about our stolen land. We've poisoned with shackled hands. But we never know the trouble the world has seen. Ignorant to all of that sorrow. Crying in our drinks and staring down those bathroom sinks. Just waiting on a better tomorrow. And we're watching this world through bulletproof screens. Seem to think a hashtag is gonna cure society. Tell me, what do you stand for while you're sitting down? 'Cause fear just won a thorny crown. And all of this privilege from despicable deeds. And we're waiting on forgiveness without a proper apology. Talk of greatness can't heal any flaws, and it's no solution to these broken laws. So why wait on politicians up on Capitol Hill? They don't pass legislation unless it pays their own bills. And they're preaching so much hatred that it gives me chills. I don't want to know. Said I don't want to know. Don't want to know the trouble the world has seen. Don't want to relive that sorrow. I'm right here, why don't you start talking to me? We can work towards a better tomorrow. Cause people with conviction are out there still. They're fighting corruption with faith and goodwill. It's time for that to grow. It's time for that to grow. Yeah, time for that to grow. 'Cause all of this history we learn from books that don't tell us both sides. Guess we gotta take that second look.
I turned myself on and back off again.
Hello.
It's all my fault again. But anyway, so you were saying earlier that you didn't want to be too political, but at the same time, that song I think is powerful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of speaks to like a lot of the flaws I see in our modern, like, American society, you know? It touches on like living in a country that was founded by slavery, and I refer to the stolen land because of our relationship with the Native Americans. And I talk about gun violence. I talk about corruption in politics, and there's just so much history that we walk through the day like living out. Like me, the first line is my fair skin privilege. Like, as a white woman, like I live I live like a very good cushy life as a result of my ancestors being really awful human beings in some capacities. And then I don't know, there's just a lot that today was built from, and it's not all good things. And I think that we all need to acknowledge it. We all need to like listen to each other more. And we live in like such a really scary world right now.
Definitely. I mean, you and I were talking while that was playing about what happened in California last night.
Yeah.
And I think one of the comments that, well, I don't know if it was I made it or you made it, but I think it was me. We could only, unfortunately, we as like you and me can only control what we could control. As far as, you know, if somebody's upset about something, they need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing. You know, we were talking about gun violence a little bit ago. Unfortunately, to me, it's not a simple thing at all.
No, it's not.
No, it's a very sticky, messy situation all the way around, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, with the years and the money invested in it and the legality of certain things, it's just become, it's not something that can be fixed overnight.
No.
But knowing that there are people out there that want to fix it, like, I think the best thing that we can do is to support them and to have open conversation and dialogue between industry professionals and like political lobbyists and activists, and like try and all get on the same page, even if there are disagreements, because there are other things that go into it too. It's not just the legislation over guns, but it's a legislation over like how we can better educate every citizen of this country in so many ways, because there's just a cause and effect relationship between like 5-year-olds who don't understand like the difference between life and death, or like how to be nice to each other, and them growing up into adults that shoot up nightclubs. So
Right. And there's one phrase comes to my mind: can't we all just get along?
oh yeah. So also, when you said we can only affect our own little corners of the world, I know, like, I personally, I've struggled with you know, as so many people do when they reach a certain age and they don't have somebody telling them what to do every second of the day
Sure.
anymore. I've struggled with like kind of where to take my life. You know, we only have one shot at this, and we want to make the best impact or like live the best life that we can. And there have been times where I've considered stopping performing to do something meaningful, you know, in my mind. And I've had a couple fans and friends that I've had long conversations with, and they've kind of spoken with me, and this is a little bit self-indulgent, but they've kind of explained to me that because I have this voice and I have these thoughts, like, I can reach people with song and have conversations to them with song, you know, and create some further impact, as long as I choose to write things that do reflect those thoughts. So that's one of the reasons that I'm trying to engage in more thought-provoking content with my music moving forward, because if I am going to continue playing music, I want it to be meaningful.
Right. And that's always a great goal to have. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, is there anything else you want me to play real quick? Any tracks? Or do you want to play the guitar one more time?
No, I mean, where are we on time here?
We got 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm feeling like that's actually a pretty good one to end it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can pull something fun off of one of my other albums if you want me to get my CD out, or I don't know. I'm feeling pretty happy with that, though.
Good. I'm glad that you're happy with that. I've got 11 notifications on Facebook. That's insane. Sorry, not to bring that up. I had just randomly noticed.
I know. Well, that's why I forced you to go on Facebook to find that one. If anybody else wants to listen to that song again, it's on my Facebook page. It's the one of me on the keyboard, and that might be on my next album, I think.
Okay.
Because I really do think it's a good one. I got the chorus of that from a spiritual tune, the "We'll Never Know the Trouble," or "I'll Never Know." I'm changing it.
That's all right.
In my head, but yeah, Louis Armstrong used to sing that song, and Sam Cooke did a version, but with a different melody as well.
So I think I'll ask you one more question, and then do you mind if we just go ahead and edit for the day?
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
So do you have a specific songwriting process? Is it just what comes to your mind, or is it?
No, I don't have a process.
Okay.
There are certain times where I'm trying to learn a song and then I accidentally play something wrong, and I see that as like a happy accident, and I kind of like work it out and like play through that. There are other times that I journal, and through journaling, sometimes like I'll see a phrase that I write and I'm like, wow, this could be really like poignant, and then I'll try and like develop a melody from that and evolve that into a song. There are other times that I'm just kind of like practicing scales, or I'll wake up in the middle of the night with a melody in my head. So there are just so many different takes on it.
Sure. Well, I do appreciate you coming out today, Taylor.
Thank you.
Even though I royally screwed up on a lot of things, including forgetting to put you on the schedule, so I deserve to be fired like 10 times over.
Oh, gosh. No. This worked out great.
It did. I figured I'd get there right before you did. I didn't know you were going to be early. Sorry. That's
totally fine. No, I've come before and I've been like late, and so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was right on time. 10:58, I walked in. Got fired like 6 times on my way in here, but that's okay. That's the joke that we have around here. That you probably.
Am I fired?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Oh wait, you asked, so yes.
Oh, dang it!
You shouldn't have asked.
What's wrong with me?
Nothing. But anyway, so I think we'll go ahead and end the show at this point. You've been listening to the Morning Mayhem radio show on Lake Effect Radio with Taylor Lamborn. Again, check her music out, TaylorLamborn.com.
Yeah.
Her Facebook page, which is Taylor Lamborn. Is it Taylor Lamborn Music?
Yeah. And if you want, I mean, you can play them out with Gravity. Do you have Spotify on there, or?
It'd take me a second to grab it out, unfortunately.
Or YouTube probably has it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can play them out with that, because we only have 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
Just write Gravity.
Oh, oops.
That's a good one.
Gravity. There it is. All right.
Let's see. Go scroll down to the one with the CD picture. Up. What's this one?
This one?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good one. All right. This song's about breaking the rules.
Crack, crack. Heard the thunder roll, roll, roll. Then the sky went black, black, black. And we lost control. And now I'm questioning solid ground. I can tell the difference between heaven and a sound. Don't think I can get higher, but no one can bring me down. I'm questioning solid ground. Don't care much about your gravity. about your chemistry. Inhibitor to you is a catalyst to me to fight laws of physics. So I'll beat all your statistics no matter what you throw at me. I don't need you to teach me. I'll make it up as I go. What's right for you isn't right for me. You say your rules are written in stone. Well, don't give me the third degree. I've got a chisel of my own. And what's all this about your gravity? Rules you learned in school, they don't apply to me. Keep sitting cross-legged, I'll be dancing with clouds at my feet. I don't care much about your gravity. I don't care much about your gravity. I don't care much about your gravity. Bye.